And if you'll welcome to the show with me someone that I have long, well, at least for the last couple months, wanted to talk to. Admiral Jonathan Greenert is the Chief of Naval Operations. Long before that, he was the commander of the 7th Fleet, which is a post that just rings with Navy history. But even before that, he was the executive officer of USS Michigan, my submarine, and was my XO all those years ago. Admiral, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. And I've got to tell your audience that you were a great sailor, and they should be very proud of you as your fans.
I appreciate that very much. I want to start today because it being the 70th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack. Get your thoughts as the Chief of Naval Operations as you look at the Navy and you look at Pearl Harbor. What does it mean to us now?
Well, Dave, it's a memory that will always live on. We can never forget, that day, what happened. Clearly, it's a benchmark. We've compared where was everybody on 9/11, but when I think back, the history of Pearl Harbor, what emerged from three really big military events took place. One, we really transitioned from the battleship to the carrier. I mean, we lost our battleship fleet there. We had no choice, and we found that carriers were, in fact, a force for the future, and even today, it is the centerpiece of our Navy and really our nation's really the center of attention forward. It is our present centerpiece. Two, the submarine force, which at the time was pretty much local, had to go blue water, had to go out and carry the fight forward, and became a great force, really, and pretty much interrupted, at that time, the Japanese logistics. And lastly, we talk a lot about logistics and repair in the military, and we sort of talk about it secondarily, but the fact of the matter is, had the Japanese come back in with one more wave of attack and bomb the fuel farm, the shipyard, and the submarine base, who's to say what would have happened? But the fact is they didn't. And we used that fuel, those submarines, and that shipyard to repair the carriers and turn the entire fleet around.
It was reading the Clay Blair Jr.'s Silent Victory all those years ago that talked about the submarine fleet coming out of Pearl Harbor that it actually motivated me to volunteer for the fleet, and something I've never regretted. I look back at my time aboard Michigan and in the subfleet with great pride and a lot of wishing I was still there sometimes when you get right down to it. As you have taken this new billet as the Chief of Naval Operations, what do you look about? You see the entire fleet. What's the biggest challenge facing the entirety of the Navy today?
I think really the biggest challenge today is to get out and operate forward and represent the country. I mean, we're at our best operating forward. Our Navy, it has been our legacy for years, and I think my challenge will be to ensure that we're using all of our means to go out and, like I said, represent this great nation. Our trade, our products originate outside this hemisphere, away from the U.S., and we have to have a secure world outside that Western Hemisphere, outside the U.S. 70% of the Earth's surface is water, and 8 out of 10 people live near the ocean, Dave, and over 90% of the trade volume in the world travels over the ocean. And so I think my job here is to make sure we're ready to meet the job today, and make sure we build the right force of the future, and maybe most importantly, take care of our sailors and our civilians and their families, and build the force of tomorrow.
And that's, I would expect nothing less than that. That's, the sailors are the backbone, and you would know that as an XO because that's part of that job there. I would imagine one of the best benefits, however, of being the Chief of Naval Operations is you probably get pretty good seats for the Army-Navy game.
Yes, I do. Yes, I get pretty good seats. But, it's interesting, Dave. I spend a lot of time up and around saying hi to, I can't wait to see the Wounded Warriors that'll be there. We'll have a re-enlistment going on there. Over to see my counterpart, Chief of Staff of the Army. We've got a little bet going on there. So, I'll get a pretty good seat. Thanks.
Well, I'd be remiss. I have to tell you this part because they've asked me to tell you. The Junior ROTC Toys for Tots Bowl game played here last weekend. The Riverbank Navy Junior ROTC defeated the Ripon Army GROTC 37-15. So we're already one up on them. for this coming week.
Well, thank you. We'll carry that momentum, Dave.
I certainly appreciate your time today. I know you're a very busy man, but as you know, you were our XO, and when you were appointed CNO, many of us who have connected through the years wanted me with this opportunity to express to you our pride that our XO has become the Chief of Naval Operations. You were a fantastic XO. We enjoyed your leadership, and we are very proud of the fact that you've gone on to become the Chief of Naval Operations, and we know that your leadership will be very good. And I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the crew of the Michigan from 1986, that we appreciated that, and we're very proud of you.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Please ask your fans to say hi and just say thanks to the sacrifice of the people that are getting it done out there, our sailors, soldiers, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardmen. It's a shot of adrenaline that'll have them run forward. We just talked about World War II and the greatest generation. These kids today are just amazing. I know you know that, too.
I certainly do. I've sent a couple of them to boot camp already and looking forward to sending some more. Admiral, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck to you.
Thank you.